So guys, the next 3 days I'm going to be fully invested into ESG playtesting the beta on PC. I know the next beta playtest will be coming to consoles for Xbox One and PlayStation 5 users, so stay tuned for the details and news on that. But anyways, for this beta playtesting for the next 3 days, I'm going to be focusing on positions that a lot of people are really not going to be focusing on, because I know for a fact a lot of people is going to be focusing on skill positions, playing mostly receiver or cornerback, DB, running back, and trying to make the fastest players. Now, they have snuffed out, I guess, certain builds that may be cheesy, and they're aware of it and they're fixing it for the next beta playtest for console users, and they recommend not, playing as certain builds, which I'm not sure if I can let you guys know as of right now, but I'm gonna keep it safe and not say what certain builds, like based off height and weight, that you should make and shouldn't make. But they did say don't be fully invested on those certain builds because it's not going to be recommended to play, but you do want to play at your own risk when you make certain builds, because they're trying to balance it out where, for instance, if you're making like a super small tiny build and you just want to be speed, you can't be fully reliant on just speed alone. There's a bunch of attributes and factors that dictates of how each situation and team chemistry is going to be built upon and how you're going to go about playing with your teammates. So take this for example, like in Madden or college football's Ultimate Team, a lot of people just focus on speed players at receiver and DBs, and basically you can just run speed and basically dominate your opponent. Basically just run man coverage most of the time. And that's not going to be the case when it comes to ESG's competitive play, because once again, every individual position player is usured and controlled by an actual human being. So you have to really play your role, play your position correctly, and play as a team and communicate during the game. You can't just go out there and Rambo everything and expect that, you're going to do your part, but you never know that your teammate may not play his part the best as to his ability based off his creation. So there's a lot of factors, especially when it comes to grading your player, which, I kid you not, you're going to spend probably a long time just on grading your build. And it's not just one build that you're going to make that you're going to, extremely focus on for the type of play style that you want to play. You may create numerous builds for testing purposes and as well to fit based off, team needs, or you may switch because you're not good at this certain build that you made and you want to try something out. So with that being said, from what I've seen so far, I've seen a lot of people pretty much scramble a lot with their quarterback builds, but it also looks like a lot of people haven't focused on like the linebackers or, the offense or defensive line. So there's a lot of breakdowns in those areas. So those are the positions I'm mainly going to focus on and change up how a lot of people have been playing from the clips that I have seen during the playtest beta. And it's crazy that, people are still trying to play it like Madden or college football, even with like Madden's showdown game mode that they have that's kind of like similar in a way. Guys, you cannot play ESG like how you have been playing Madden or college football, especially when it comes to the team play game modes as well. It's not the same. It's completely different. It's more simulation based, and it's going to really make you change the way you play. Now, ESG is implementing what we used to have in Madden, which was the modifier moves, which gave us more advanced moves based off the default animations for like juking and animation. So ESG is implementing something like that in their game, and it's kind of similar to what NBA 2K has to offer with their move sets, where you can use the analog stick in different variety directions with other buttons involved to have some crazy moves to pull off while you're dribbling the ball. Now with ESG, it's the same kind of format, and it's going to give you an option based off the attributes and the type of player that you create. You're going to have a variety of different ways to pull off certain moves. And it's not just for ball carrier moves, it's also for engagement by defensive linemen and offensive linemen. You're going to have modifiers on top of, just the basic moves that you can pull off. So there's a lot of button combinations that you can pull off in ESG where, there's countless, I mean, countless of advanced, crazy animations that you can pull off in every single area. And that even goes for, route running, jamming. I mean, there's countless areas where they have things in numerous ways of how you can go about controlling your player and doing certain moves. So that is a massive plus. Another great comparison that you can compare ESG to when it comes to like gameplay overall mechanics and how it can be similar in a way, and you can compare it with Madden's '08 player weapon icons and abilities, and also how All Pro Football 2K8 presented their abilities and things of that sort with their gameplay mechanics. So, for instance, if you're creating a running back and you just want to make a power back, well, you can do so. But he's not going to be shifty, he's not going to be elusive, he may not be that fast, and you can pretty much have archetype builds to that perspective. And if you want to make a shifty running back, you can do so. He can be fast, shifty, agile, and there's badges that kind of go hand in hand with what NBA 2K has with their badge system. So you can have a variety of different archetype builds for every single position. You can balance between multiple positions that you want to play as. So if you want to be a decent pass rushing defensive lineman, you can do that alongside with a decent pass blocker or a run blocker. But if you want to go full out on one side, you can do so as well. If you just want to be like a dominant pancake pass blocker, all around pass blocker or so, you can do that. But if you're playing defense, you may not have any skills or attributes catered to defensive play, and you're just going to get bullied around if you're playing like on a D line or so. So, with all that being said, especially when it comes to the creation build, which is very identical to NBA 2K's my player build concept, you're going to have various and numerous builds, and there's really not one dominant build that you can pretty much copycat. I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of people is going to try to suggest certain builds, but it's all just based off how you want to play the game and also how you're going to play with your friends based off what they built. And that's a very balanced concept that ESG is implementing where there's really no one way dimensional dominant builds like how on 2K you can make like a stretch big can dominate shooting deep threes, can dribble drive, and all that stuff. You really can't do that in ESG, especially when everybody has their individual player that they're going to be playing, and hopefully they play towards their position and role that they make. So, ESG has various options of how to go about this game, and it's really well balanced when it comes to competing. So, guys, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy kind of like a little bit more intake of what I've witnessed from the previous beta playtest that I've visually seen from the other players that have showcased their clips. And once again, I'm going to be physically getting my hands on experience and doing a lot of testing for the next 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So, if you guys don't see any content, that's because I am simply giving my all and investing my entire time as much as I can on ESG with this playtest beta. And like I said, I'm going to be testing mostly on playing positions and making builds that a lot of people was not going to be making when the game does release. So I'm testing it for those purposes only, and hopefully the people that do cater to like defensive line or offensive linemen, special teams, it would give more of an outcome for those type of people to actually make those positions, because I feel like from what I've seen, those positions finally matter. Anyways, until next time, I'll see you guys later, and I'm out. Peace.